Hi everybody, Affman Home Loan Group here with Universal Lending. Joel and I are here at 20th and Blake, but we're not here for a baseball game. Actually, the Rockies are out of town, so we're here to show you something that's very important to the lending industry of Colorado. And it's at 20th and Blake too, and it's called CHFA. CHFA stands for Colorado Housing Finance Authority, and they've been around quite a while, and they are experts at helping people who are low to middle income get into homes. Well, the point of us doing this special trip is that they are coming out with some very exciting new programs, and if you give us a second, we're going to run over the history of CHFA very briefly, and then we're going to talk about these new programs. So give us a second, we'll be right back. Okay, so we just showed you a shot of Coors Field. We're at 20th and Blake. Now, CHFA's got a long history in Colorado. It was established in 1973. And, you know, at one point, realtors used to laugh that CHFA was kind of a four-letter word, in the sense that it was difficult to work with. They used to have to get on the line, get on the phone, and dial for dollars and wait for your reservations, and when the money ran out, you were out of luck until the next month. Well, that went away a long time ago. It's constantly funded. Then a few years ago, they came up with a silent second. A silent second was simply a mortgage that helped with down payment, but you didn't have to make payments on it. You just had to give the money back when you sold the home or refinanced. And then, of course, we had the mortgage issues of a few years ago. They had to start charging interest rate and payments for that second mortgage. So that's what they're doing now. And I'm going to have Joel come in here and talk to you a little bit more about the Smartstep program.
Hey everybody. Like Mark said, CHFA just announced as of June 4th that they've come out with a new program called Smartstep and Smartstep Plus. Now, for those of you familiar with the First Step and First Step Plus, the new Smartstep program is replacing that. And some of the new features that make this program exciting and a little bit different are that the Smartstep program has no recapture tax, and there's no need for borrower and seller affidavits, and an MCC can be attached to this product very easily. One other thing to mention is that the Smartstep program can be used with an FHA 203K loan. So for those of you who are helping buyers, or for those of you who are buyers who are looking at properties that could use some TLC, could use some alterations or some fix-ups, an FHA 203K would be a great option to pair with the new Smartstep program.
MCC is a program that's been around for a while. Never made it a little easier to use. This can save you tons and tons of money on your income tax. So we'll get you more information about that at another time. But please, it's real big with this new program. Sorry.
That's fine. So real quickly, I'll just mention some of the requirements to qualify for the new Smartstep program. And in a lot of ways, it's very similar to what the First Step programs used to be. You do have to be a first-time home buyer, or you can be a non-first-time home buyer that's purchasing in a targeted area. And all that means is that some areas have been chosen to be targeted as revitalization areas. So
they want to spruce up the neighborhood.
So also, you can be a non-first-time eligible veteran buying in a targeted or non-targeted area. And there also are some income and purchase price limits that CHFA sets, and those vary by county. But you do have to conform to whatever those limits would be to be eligible for the program.
And speaking of those limits, that's another exciting part of this program. There's some new changes that are going to make it easier. Right now, they're expanding the income and the purchase limits so that, for example, a family of 3, which includes, by the way, your children, not your dog, but if you have a family of 3 or more, then you can make all the way up to $91,000 some odd dollars and still qualify for this program. The biggest changes, though, we're coming down to is that before they've always required $1,000 to be put into the transaction, and it always had to be of your own funds or the buyer's own funds. Now they're allowing that money to be gifted. So mom or dad or your rich uncle can help you get that money and help you buy the house. The second better part of this whole thing is that a lot of times with some of the higher purchase prices, the seller's requiring some pretty good size earnest money. say $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Well, now, if you have the ability to get the seller to concede for your closing costs, and if there's room, you can actually get some of that money refunded back to you, all the way down to that $1,000 minimum requirement. Used to be if you put $2,000 in as earnest money, that earnest money was staying in the program no matter what. Now, potentially, your buyer has the ability to get some of that money back at closing. One more thing about the locked rates is that in the past, 30-day locks meant that if you didn't buy the house, you had to wait for 30 more days to wait for that reservation to cancel before you could lock on a new house. That's going away too. No more worries about whether or not it's going to appraise or whether it's going to inspect. If you don't buy the house, you can cancel that reservation, and the next day you can go out and get a new registration or a new lock for that another house.
So if you have any questions, or if you feel like you could take advantage, or if you have clients that could take advantage of these exciting new changes, feel free to contact us and we'd be happy to help you.
Thanks a lot, everybody.